That's it.
With the dropped edge.
Yeah. Judge.
Prep.
Prep.
That was a joke. It's okay.
Yeah. So
It wasn't total math.
So just to be clear, Liliana is not extending conditionality, and she's doing that because she is an experienced debater and recognizes that it would not really be a winning strategy to extend conditionality in this instance because the 2&R is going for T. However, if the 2&R had gone for something else, like a counterplan or something else, then maybe she would extend conditionality, right? But she's not extending it because the 2&R went for T, and based on our theoretical hierarchy, T comes before conditionality. So that's why she's not extending it. All right, is everyone ready? Only need your T-flow.
Our interpretation of the topic is best for debate. We are the only team who has introduced and advocated for legal government-sanctioned definitions of immigration that actually seek to establish a definition. Legal immigration is one of 4 categories: lawful permanent residents, asylees, refugees, or visas. That's 4 Fs. 4 Fs, better than 40. This is the best vision of the topic. Framing issue. They have never in this debate provided legitimate examples of off-case positions that they are unable to read against our interpretation or against this act, or any unreasonable or undebatable acts that this act justifies. They had one blippy example about Cuba, which obviously wouldn't be topical because it's not domestic, which means that even if you believe all of their explanation and analysis about their interpretation, there is still no meaningful impact on the debate. What are those 40 acts? What are the disads that you read against them? You have no idea what his vision of the topic looks like. You don't even know what act would be topical, which means that all you know is that his interpretation locks in 40 acts. That's 40 case studies. That's 40 weeks of your life that you're spending researching debate. You should prefer our interpretation for several reasons. First, it's a 4 areas of 4 large and controversial acts that have great advantages, great disads, and make a year of great debates. Nick never gave you a list of what acts are topical or what bad acts we justify beyond the silly Cuba example that wouldn't be topical because it's not a domestic policy. Certainty goes aft. I don't know what Nick's topic looks like, what it includes, or what we'll debate. I do know that 4 big acts with cool ground and lots of disads is an educational year that's good for everybody. Second, it's the most legally precise. Our Perez evidence quotes the Department of Homeland Security, which is the government organization in charge of defining this term. Accessing precision means it's better for debate because it creates a steady stasis point around which debaters can structure their research for the year. The negative patched together feelsy journals and out of context tweets like Frankenstein's monster to try to create a coherent vision of what the topic should be. That is not enough because it means that a year's worth of debates are based on random snippet phrases. That impact is real. It means debaters like yourselves will be led astray as to what it is or is not topical while doing your own research, only to lose when you actually make it to the tournament. That effect is magnified for small schools. It's especially important to be precise at camp because it sets the stage for a year's worth of debates. Their definitions have no intent to define. That means that they have no intent to exclude either. We have pieces of legal evidence that say that visas are part of the topic. They have no evidence that visas should not be part of the topic, which is wholly insufficient to reject this affirmative on face. Saying that they're legally precise is laughable. I will literally read their card for them. With the immigration reform as the main platform of the 2016 presidential race, many have become to see citizenship as synonymous with legal immigration status. At Earth Force, we believe citizenship is about caring for and being invested in your community. That is not intending to define. That is not legally precise. Third, our interpretation is the most real world. Their interpretation arbitrarily draws the line around the word legal without defining it in context. Legal immigration is a term of art that must be defined as a unit. Court and tennis have different definitions until they're put together. They don't have any ground laws tied to citizenship, only interpretation of the topic. Fourth, visas are important to debate and the best area of the topic. It's the largest area of controversy in the field of immigration with a ton of literature, a wide variety of advantages and disadvantages, and tons of room for innovative counterpoints and critiques. It's the area of legal immigration that Trump has discussed the most, which means it's the most timely. I'm going to go through all of their evidence. First of all, I'm going to clear up a misconception. Recency in the face of a T debate doesn't matter because they're not reading legally precise definitions from the government. Their Mueller card is a bad interpretation of the topic. It's a climate activist with a random quote about how it makes her feel. Their other card is a quote from a Republican senator who didn't want to face backlash or controversy about immigration by saying that it's not. You should prefer our government agency and the Congressional Research Service who actually define what policy happens. The bottom of the 2&R was with Nick waxing poetic about how the resolution is one precise legal phrase. We conceded that because legal immigration is a precise legal phrase and we're the only ones who have it. Their LA Times evidence about illegal undocumented immigration, which is an important issue but not part of this resolution, so not relevant to this debate. Our 1AC card correctly specified the difference between temporary and non-temporary visas, which means it's not a neg card, it's just an explanation of what this app is. They say affects T. That argument is wrong and wasn't conceded. Increased access and decreased restriction are a distinction without a difference, and there's no explanation of how this changed the topic. One sentence in the 2NR is not a negative ballot, and they haven't explained how we changed the app. If we say that we should open the border, it would be ending existing restrictions to immigration and allowing more of it. That's what the app does. It's a pathway to citizenship and a stepping stone that is a process rather than an outcome in a vacuum. They say we justify thousands of apps. That's just not true. We've consistently said that there are 4 apps that are topical. They read a bunch of different cases, but that's not true, and they wouldn't be actual apps. But you know that it's 4 versus 40. What sounds like a better topic to you? Ultimately, you should be reasonable. They have provided no reason to exclude this app on face, which means that if you think that this is debatable and that a well-prepared negative team should be able to talk about H-1B visas, you should vote affirmative.
All right.
Oh, you're good.